Sicha from Tafshin Memtes, Shabbos Pasrshas, Shabbos Devarim, Shabbos Chazon. Yedua Imra Shel Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Ditchev. There's known the saying of Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Ditchev, Shabbos Chazon Hu Meloshen Machze, that the Shabbos Chazon is from the expression image, vision. Shabbos Zu Marin Chol Echad VeEchad HaMikdash T'La'asid. And this Shabbos, they show everyone the Beis HaMikdash of the future, Berachik, from afar. Meaning, Marim Chol Yehudi is Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi. They show every Yid the third Beis HaMikdash. Vatam Lazahu. The reason for this is to awaken by Yid the yearning and missing and desiring the third Beis HaMikdash. And this will bring him to act even more so in the straight path in all matters of Torah mitzvahs, mitach yediyah, out of knowledge. That through this, that the Yid acts in a way that's appropriate for Torah mitzvahs, so Hashem is going to speedily bring the Beis HaMikdash down here quicker than before. Though not every Yid sees the vision of the Beis HaMikdash in a revealed way, it's similar to what the Gemara says concerning the people that were along with Daniel, that even though Daniel saw a vision of the Eibishter, but the people that were next to him were trembling. So skip the parentheses, I just now explained the parentheses. My time, if they didn't see anything, why did they become fearful? So the Gemara answers, because even though they did not see, their mazel from above saw, their source, their spiritual source was able to see. The mazel means the source of the neshama above was able to see. That similarly, the fact that they showed every Yid the future Beis HaMikdash, top of the second column, the neshama, the way it's above, the source of the neshama above sees it. Mazel meloshen noisel. Mazel is also from the word dripping and flowing. So therefore, it's not just something that's above, but it flows. Nimshach mashpia al neshama beguf lamata. It's drawn down and influences the neshama and the body down here below. Va'ad leguf bepashtas, until the simple sense of the body down here below, that it is literally impacts the physical body of a Yid down here. Tzarech lahavin, so the Rebbe asks, we need to understand. Aleph, madu amar misabayis hashlishi davke b'Shabbos Chazon. Why specifically do we show the Beis HaMikdash specifically in the Shabbos known as Shabbos Chazon, HaShabbos shalifnei Tisha B'Av, the Shabbos prior to Tisha B'Av, kishahaya churban Beis HaMikdash. That was when it was the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. They should have showed it in Shabbos Nachmu, but at the beginning of the 7 Shabbosim of comfort, when they comfort the Yidden for the exile and the destruction. It's known that the 3 weeks, because of the 3 haftorahs that are read in the 3 weeks, which deal with the different consequences that the Yidden would suffer because of their action, they're called Sheva de Puranusa, the Gimel de Puranusa, the 3 of punishment. following that from Shabbos Nachmu, the Shabbos after Tisha B'Av, until the Shabbos before Rosh Hashanah, there are 7 weeks of all the Haftorahs are Sheba de Nechemta, are 7 of comfort. So the Rebbe is saying, what is the more appropriate time when a Yid should be shown the Beis HaMikdash? Not when we're talking about a period of the Beis HaMikdash destruction, but rather when it's a period of comfort, which is post Tisha B'Av. The Rebbe goes on and says, "Afilu im roitzim lahar sam migdash." Even if they want to show the migdash, but they lo'eras avodah shel bnei Yisrael, to be able to inspire the avodah of the Yidden, hayitzrichim la'roisim miyad betchilas b'shavas harishona batlosa de puranusa. You want to tell me that the reason why they're showing them the Beis HaMikdash is because now it's a time when we're supposed to be mourning the Beis HaMikdash. So you're trying to inspire the Yidden to take the appropriate lessons from the mourning to improve in our activities. So if that's the point, that we're trying to inspire to have our mourning be productive and to correct our actions. And that's why we are doing this in the time of the 3 of Puranusa, not in the Sheva de Nechemta. Don't wait till the last Shabbos. Do it on the first Shabbos. Madu Amar Moise b'Shabbos HaShlishi is why they show it on the 3rd Shabbos, b'Soif Shloishes HaShavuos, at the end of the 3 weeks, the last Shabbos of the 3 weeks. It's the most severe of all the 3 haftoidas of punishment. We see this from the actual reading of the final haftoida of the 3 weeks, is the most severest of all the 3. When we find ourselves in the 9 days, so the period also is the most severest period of the 3 weeks. It's a haftorah that's read not in the 3 weeks, but it's a haftorah that's read in the 9 days. And that itself, it's read in the week of Tisha B'Av itself. That the week of Tisha B'Av, we know, has more stringencies and halacha over the rest of the 9 days. There are certain things that we are permitted to do in the 9 days, but when it comes to the week of Tisha B'Av, we don't do B'shal Yosim Krivim with Tisha B'Av because they're already closer to Tisha B'Av. For Yosim is even more so. Hatama Poshet L'Kach Shabbos Nikras Shabbos Chazon. The simple reason, the literal reason, not what Rabbi Levi Yitzchak bar Ditchever explained and so on. What's the simple meaning of Shabbos Chazon? Why? Who al Shem Haftorah Chazon Yeshayahu. It's because the name of the Haftorah that's called the Vision of Yeshayahu, Hamadaberes Begoli, that speaks in a revealed way, Divrei Musar Bekesher Lachatoim Shel Bnei Yisrael. It speaks words of rebuke concerning the sins of the Yidden. That because of those sins, the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. The total opposite from the vision of the Beis HaMikdash that will be built in the future. So it's even more paradoxical to show the Beis HaMikdash of the future in the very haftorah that we are speaking in the worst way about the sins that brought to the destruction. That's one point that the Rebbe has about this idea of Rabbi Levi Yitzchak bar Ditchever. Beis, mepashtas ha'inyan, move on from the simple idea, it's understood. The fact that we show every single one, the future Beis HaMikdash b'Shabbos Chazon, and during Shabbos Chazon, this was something that took place in all generations. It's not just in the times of Rabbi Levitzchak bar Ditchever and further. All Churban Abaye is from the time of the Beis Mikdash being destroyed. Even before the Rabbi Levitzchak bar Ditchever revealed this. Why was this not revealed to all Yidden in the generations prior to this? That they show Yidden, and it says every single Yid, the third Beis HaMikdash. And rather, instead of this being revealed immediately after the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, instead, the matter was only revealed and made well known only in the latter generations, and the end of days, through Rabbi Levitzchak bar Ditchever, about 200 years prior. So the Rebbe says, "Yesh loymar shezeh yuvan behegdem habir be'inyan the tlasa puranusa v'shiva denechemta." This will be understood by first prefacing the explanation in the concept known as the three of punishment, that we said the 3 weeks are read 3 haftarahs of punishment, versus 7 weeks following Tisha B'Av are read 7 haftarahs of comfort. Duber Pamim Rabbis is spoken about many times, Befrat Menegel Yom Melu, especially concerning these days. Shekol Yerida Hitzorech Aliyah, that every descent is for the sake of an ascent, of an elevation. Milchatchila kavana by Yerida Hoisa b'chdei shezeh yavi l'madregen nailas haydoyser l'maylam ha'mokim b'nimtzul l'fnei Yerida. Initially, the intent in the descent was so that it should bring about a higher level, even greater than the place that they were found and initially before the descent. It's not just, well, they descended, so now we have to go up higher. No, there was an intention, a purpose in the descent, and the intention and the purpose in the descent was to be able to reach higher. The Yisraelim is even more so, Pnimius HaYerida. The inner idea of the descent is for the ascent that comes about from this. Except externally and temporarily, in a revealed way, down here below, it seems like a descent. But in Hashem's view, from Hashem's perspective and in Hashem's times, but above, it's the most highest type of revelation that cannot be revealed yet down here below. The Rebbe is echoing something that Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, that when a person, one of the explanations that Alter Rebbe brings in Tanya, that when a person experiences suffering down here below, it's really a great revelation from above that's too powerful to come down in a revealed good down here below. So it's a similar vein. And the Rebbe gives an analogy of this, that we find something that on the receiving end could seem like something negative, but in truth, deep down, it's something positive. So he says now an analogy for this in the parentheses. Al derech mashal ma'ahelim shabash bas rav letalmid. For example, the concealment that's in the influence from a teacher to a student. At a time when he's bringing himself, when the Rav is bringing himself to comprehend a much greater and deeper type of idea. In other words, sometimes in the middle of the teaching, a Rav will stop and he will stop speaking, either because of a question that a student posed or because of something that arose in the teacher's own mind. Now, from the student's perspective, the student is yearning and desiring to receive great revelation and ideas coming from his teacher. All of a sudden, the teacher stops. The student is in a place of darkness. He's distraught. I'm not getting this revelation that I'm hoping for. In truth, the teacher, the Rav, is reaching in deeper within himself to come to a deeper understanding of the topic that he will eventually share with the student. So what's perceived in the world of the student as being a concealment and a dissent and a negative is at that very time in the world of the Rav, in the world of the teacher, a positive, and it's a good thing, and it's a better thing that eventually will come out to the student as well. So he says in the third line from the bottom, and the greater the revelation is above, so it's greater the concealment and descent down below by the receiver. He needs even more to have, it expresses itself even more so in this descent down here below by the student. Top of the next column. So this great revelation should come revealed down here below. This is dependent upon the avodah of the Yidden down here below. This awakens and reveals in actuality the inner elevation that exists in the external descent. In other words, what externally seems like a descent is actually revealed as an elevation, and we, through our avodah, hasten this. And only when this great and high revelation becomes revealed down here below, Nishlam Tachlis Shleimus Ha'inyan is completed, the ultimate perfection of the matter. Shleimus Gam Lagabe Ha'inyan Kvi Shenimtza Begoli Avarak Lamayla. It's a perfection also in comparison to the matter, the way it's found in a revealed way, but it's only above. In other words, that when you have both together, you have this great ascent, and it comes down here below. So then, it's even greater than having this revelation only above. Once we've established that, now we can translate it in the terms of Golus and Geulah. K'moikin moving in the Geulah, Golus for Geulah, so it would be understood concerning exile and redemption. Hagam shachur v'agolus. Though the destruction and exile are externally concealment and covering, but internally, it's the greatest form of good. The revelation of the future redemption and of the third Beis Hamikdash. It's a revelation that's incomparable to all the things that were there prior to this. It's even greater than the great revelations that were in the first and the second Beis Hamikdash are going to become revealed later on. It's going to be an everlasting redemption that there's no Geulah following it. Ubeis Hamikdash Nitzchi, and an everlasting Beis Hamikdash. Mikdash Adonai Koinu Yadecha, the Mikdash Vashem that your hands will prepare is so much greater. Ubeglal Atoiv Achinayil Shebezem, because the great elevated good that's in this, Yeshnei Ahelm Lefi Shoytz Lamakablim. That's why there's a temporary concealment by the receivers, not because it's a true concealment, but like we said, that the Rav has to conceal to be able to bring out a greater revelation. Let's skip the brackets to the top of the next page. The second paragraph on the next page, to be able to bring out in a total revelation, the most highest revelation of the future redemption. Hareza told him, it's dependent upon our actions and our service throughout the entire duration of exile. And only through the fact that it comes out revealed down here below in the redemption, so it's perfected the completion of the matter. This is the difference between the three weeks of punishment that we speak about in the Haftarah versus the 7 of comfort. The first 3 weeks, when we recite the Haftarah that's connected with punishment, the destruction, and the exile. So in a revealed way, it's a matter of punishment. But in the innermost aspect of this is the new revelation of the future redemption of Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi in the third Beis Hamikdash that results from it. The Rebbe says in a footnote, all of this is likened to, sorry, the page got moved out of the way. The Rebbe says in a footnote, this is likened to sleep. That during sleep, externally, it looks like the person is not in this world. He's not functioning. He's not even doing what a human being is supposed to do. But on the other hand, it's just the opposite. That during sleep, the neshama is going up and being revitalized and being energized and being given greater strength to be able to take on the next day. And it's not just physical strength, but we know it goes up to Gan Eden and it gets spiritual strength as well. So you look at the person down here, and from our perspective, he's quote unquote, as I like to say when a person is fast asleep, he's dead to the world. There's nothing beneficial going on. But in truth, that is when all the energy and all the vitality that the person is going to manifest throughout the day is coming from. Last paragraph in the first column of Bazayin, the Nechemta, and the 7 weeks of comfort, where we read the comforting Haftarahs after Tisha B'Av till Rosh Hashanah. Maschel Gili Primis HaToiva Avashal Gimel de Purunusa begins the revelation of the inner good and the love that was concealed and really behind the scenes in the 3 weeks of punishment. It's the flow and the drawing down below of the revelation of this new light of the Geulah on the third Beis Hamikdash. It occurred already. It happened already in the weeks prior to that. Like it's known, the special advantage of the third Beis Hamikdash over the prior 2 Bate Mikdashes, it will be greater, the glory of this final Beis Hamikdash, that the Zohar says it's going in the third Beis Hamikdash over the first, meaning the previous 2 Bate Mikdashes, and even over the first Beis Hamikdash. The future Beis Hamikdash will be an everlasting home to the Eibishter. Top of the next column, Shagilim is Elamato, that the revelation of this down here below, Nasai de Havoida Shel Bnei Yisrael. This is caused by the avoid of the Eden, like we mentioned before. Hamevia Sagula Beis Hamikdash Shlishi, it brings about the redemption of the third Beis Hamikdash, as it says, Yavoi Aryeh b'Mazel Aryeh v'Yivna Ariel, that Hashem, that's likened to a lion, will come in the constellation of Leo, and he will build a Beis Hamikdash that's called Ariel. V'Yiseirim Mezeh Al Menas Zeh Hoya Ola Aryeh Mazel Aryeh v'Hecher v'Ariel. For this sake, for this purpose, was the reason why the lion that Bavel is likened to arose in the mazel of Leo, and he destroyed the Beis Hamikdash. Because, like it says, I transformed their mourning to rejoicing. It will become the revelation of the inner good and the inner love in the morning of the 3 weeks beforehand are going to manifest later. But it's not that it's created later. It's really already there internally in the 3 weeks. And then the Rebbe says also, and similar to this revelation that's going to happen when Moshiach comes, this transformative aspect to take the 3 weeks and reveal their inner good, already happens every year on the 15th of Av. Therefore, there were no Yom Tovim for the Yidden like the 15th of Av. Since then is revealed the highest revelation in the innermost aspect of Tisha B'Av, just like in Mashiach's times becomes revealed the great love and the great goodness that there is during Geulah. So now we're going to answer the questions we asked before. According to the above, we understood the reason for the fact. Only in Shabbos Chazon we show everyone the third Beis Hamikdash. Only at the conclusion of the 3 weeks of punishment. The Shabbos that's closest to Tisha B'Av that we said, the darkness down here below is the most severe darkness. Or then it's the proof, or the maybe saying re'iyah. Sorry about that. The vision of the revelation that will take place then. And this is similar to the concept that it says that Moshiach was born. The Rebbe says in the footnote, the Moshiach is dafke born on Tisha B'Av. The worst time, the worst day of the year, that's when the birth of Moshiach is, because we are revealing and we are showing this great quality and this great advantage of the concealed good that's present in the worst of times. And also, this is something else that Rebbe always brings down, that when the Goyim went into the Beis Hamikdash, they saw the Kruvim embrace each other, which is a sign of Hashem's great love for the Jewish people, which is, again, this is because the deepest thing that looks low externally is actually the highest thing internally. And the Rebbe also says, last paragraph on the page, that in Tfilas Mincha, in the time of the greatest will, what's called the will of the will in Kabbalah, of Shabbos Chazon, Maschilim Likre Parshas V'eschanun. Shabbos Chazon, we always read Parshas Devarim. And Mincha time, we start reading the Parsha the next week, which is Parshas V'eschanun. Ha-Parsha Shel Shabbos Nachmu. What's Parshas V'eschanun? It's the Parsha of Shabbos Nachmu. Ha-Shabbos HaRishonim Misheven Unachemta, the first Shabbos of the seven of comforts. In other words, the whole purpose is this last Shabbos before Tisha B'Av has to be already has this crux of the essential and core and hidden good that's in it, is like creeping out towards us. Since the intention in the external descent temporarily, to inspire and awaken the avoid of the Yidden, to draw down below the new revelation of the third Beis Hamikdash, because only when it comes down here below, he said, so then you have the ultimate perfection of it, not when it's just above. That's why specifically in this Shabbos, like we said, the worst of the time of the 3 Shabbos in the 3 weeks, every single Yid is shown the future Beis Hamikdash. Because this, the future Beis Hamikdash, is the inner component and the content of the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash and Tisha B'Av, b'chdei la'orer as ha'avodah shel b'nei Yisrael, to awaken and inspire the avodah of b'nei Yisrael, to bring it to fruition finally, to give it like the final push to inspire us. She toired v'tavid as Hamikdash Hashlishi, that our avodah will bring down and bring about the third Beis Hamikdash habonu yumuchan malamayla, that's built up and prepared above. Begilu kam lamata, should be revealed down here below. So the question is, if it's so powerful and so great, how come did we wait till now? Sorry, again, this likes to bounce on me. How come did we wait so long for this to be revealed? By the way, another thing that Rebbe brings down is that in Mincha, in Tisha B'Av itself, in the tefillah of Mincha, we say a tefillah called Nachem. Even though it's brought down that Mincha time at Tisha B'Av, that's when they set fire to the Beis Hamikdash. So in a way, Mincha time should have been more severe and more strict, because Mincha time in Tisha B'Av was when Moshiach was born, that his name is Menachem. So again, we see this whole idea of this concept, and then the innermost love of Hashem becomes revealed to the Yidden, and in Kabbalah, that then Yidden said a special song to Hashem, and they actually very much rejoiced. Okay, let's go to Ois Vav in the second column, in the first column, and now we're going to speak about why was it not revealed until these latter generations. Why was this only revealed to all, specifically in the latter generations? The Geulah Gufaroyim, in the Geulah, the exile itself, we see in Shachoshach HaKovid B'Yoyseru Dafke B'Achras Hayomim, the most difficult and heaviest darkness is specifically in the last days of Geulah. Ad l'ikvus of the Moshiach, till the times of the heels of Moshiach. Shebedugmas ha'akiv sheberegel, similar to the heels that's in the foot. Hadarga achitachtoina shebeguf, the lowest level in the body. Sheba ein chayis begolui, that over there's no life in a revealed way. Shalachein mashim zois leinu shalep chachayim. It says in Avos the Rab Nosson that the angel of death in a person, that's likened to the heel. The Avos the Rab Nosson speaks about different parts of the body that resemble different parts of the creation. It likens the hair to forest, different things. It says, what's the angel of death in a person? That's the heel, because that's like the least sensitive, the least feeling area. In other words, that this shows on the least amount of life force, the heel. That's why the time before Mashiach's coming is called Ikvus of the Mashiach, that's showing the lowest and the greatest darkness of Geulah. This itself, the greatest concealment, Hudrai, is a proof. Then there is the most greatest revelation above. Since we're coming closer to the redemption, because of the stronger concentration of the revelation of the great light of the third Beis Hamikdash, which is the Pnimius Inyan HaGolus, which is the main idea of Golus, Mischazekes Yoiser, top of the next column, Haistaluk Ma'ashpa, Mischazek V'Yoiser, Yoiser HaGolus. So then, the removal of the Hashpa is even more so. The darkness is even more so. In other words, the fact that it's so dark now, it indicates that internally, the pressure of the love and the goodness is so much more powerful, and that's why here it's so much darker. That's why. Though even in prior generations before, I believe Yitzchak Berditchever revealed this, they showed in Shabbos Chazon every single person the future redemption, the future Beis Hamikdash, only in the latter generations are raised in this Geulah l'chol b'nei Yisrael. This was revealed to all Yidden. And in a greater revelation, a more internalized revelation, in such a way that since he's aware of it, now we can meditate upon it and think into it in depth. Why is he able to do that now and not before the times that Rabbi Yitzchak Berditchever? Since it's found even more so revealed above. The third Beis Hamikdash, miyad mamish mizgal lamata, that immediately it's revealed down here below. So since it's just at the cusp, so therefore we have greater capabilities and greater availability to us to be aware and to think into this. And to add to this, that the revelation of this new light, of the future Beis Hamikdash, becomes revealed through the avodah of Yidden, the way they find themselves in the darkness of Golus. And only through the revelation, actuality down below, becomes the perfection of the revelation also above. Similar to the times when the Beis Hamikdash stood, the Rebbe also brings out, similar to the heels of Moshiach, that the lowest part of us was part of the going up to the Beis Hamikdash. Specifically through a person's leg and foot, became the idea of going up l'regel. It was called aliyah l'regel when we went up for the 3 regalim, for the 3 Yom Tovim, and we even called the Yom Tovim Shalosh Regalim because it was the time when we went by regel, by foot, to the Beis Hamikdash. So the foot, which is the lowest thing, brought the elevation, where all your males will see the face of your master Avaya. Just like he comes to appear, and so too he comes to see, and just like he comes to see, he comes to appear. In other words, he's getting the greatest revelation. So, and it's all a result of the foot. So too in our case, through the avoid of the Yidden and the heels of Moshiach, the heel of the foot in time. It becomes the idea that they show every single Yid the future Mikdash. Until top of the next page, until it has the ultimate revelation of this down here below, not from afar, that it says there's the whole mashal that the Baal Shem, that is given about this, that they have the father shows his son from afar the garment that he tore up, that he replaced 3 times, that there was the 3, there's a whole mashal for this, that a child was given a suit of clothes and he wasn't careful, he tore it, and then he was given a second suit of clothes and he tore it up. And then the third suit of clothes, the father prepares and shows him from afar and says, when you're mature enough to take care of it, you'll be able to keep it. The same thing. First Beis Hamikdash is 1 suit of clothes that we ruined. The second Beis Hamikdash is a second suit of clothes that we ruined. And then he shows us from afar, the expression is, the third suit of clothes, and the Rebbe said it's not just going to be from afar, ala bekiruv, but close by, begula mitzvah shlema, and the true and complete redemption. Ishenasis hashlemus, the yirah kol zechurcha, when it becomes the perfection of all your males will see it. Kishem shebal lirois, that we are all that level of seeing it. The Rebbe also says in a footnote that this is something that was specifically revealed through Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Berditchever, not just the time, because we're at the cusp of Moshiach's times, but in the footnote the Rebbe says it was specifically revealed by Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Berditchever because his idea and his avoda was to affect the revelation of the redemption of the Yidden. Both from the person's individual exile, their internal spiritual exile, and the general exile of the Yidden from Klal Yisrael. And this is hinting at the name Levi Yitzchak, the Rebbe says, for those that like these ideas of the names. Levi and Yitzchak are both names that have to do with Gevurah. There says that Yisrael, Kehanim, Levim, Yisraelim, Kohen, Sicha Chesed. Levi has to do with Gevurah. Yisrael has to do with Tiferes. And Yitzchak, we know of the three of us, Avram, Yitzchak, Yankov. Yitzchak is the idea of Gevurah. Gevurah is the root of Golus. So where does he come to Geulah? Because as we said before, the Gevurah and the Golus, over there is the most powerful kindness is concealed over there. And they become revealed in such a way that it's Hashem himself escorts them, like it says, Yilave Ishi Elai, that Hashem escorts and is with us. So it should become revealed this Shabbos Chazon, even earlier, where we actually will see the Beis HaMikdash Shlishi with our physical eyes, not just the way it's concealed above, but the spiritual should manifest itself down in the physical down here below.